Welcome to the Real Estate Ripple, where every conversation creates waves in the world of real estate. We're your hosts, Megan Wetland,
Christy Morawski,
and Joe Madrano. We're here to bring you honest insights, practical tips, and powerful stories from the front lines of real estate and lending.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, we're here to help you stay current, stay inspired, and keep growing right here in the Joliet market and beyond. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Real Estate Ripple, the podcast where we dive into people, ideas, conversations making waves in real estate. I'm Joe Madrano.
I'm Christy Morawski.
And I'm Megan Wetland. And today we're talking about something that can truly change the way you experience this industry, getting involved in association leadership.
And we're thrilled to be joined by someone who knows all about stepping up and giving back through leadership, and that is Jennifer Viano, President-elect of the Board of Directors here at Three Rivers Association of Realtors, and the designated managing broker and owner of Town Center Realty right here in Joliet.
Jennifer is a powerful example of what can happen when you get involved in your association, not just for yourself, but for your clients, your business, and your peers.
Jen, welcome to the Real Estate Ripple. We're excited to have you here.
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here and talk about this important topic today.
Yes, thank you. All right, so let's get started by getting to know you. Tell us a little bit about your journey into real estate. How did you get started? What led you to becoming a managing broker and all that you do?
So I have been licensed since 2015. My original managing broker and my stepsister she's like, I think you'd be a great realtor. And I was like, I do like that show House Hunters. I mean, I love that show.
Don't we all?
Exactly like
me
TV.
to sleep, legitimately. If I cannot sleep, I'll turn it on. I'm dead asleep by the second house.
Budget's $1 million.
Yeah.
And a butterfly farmer.
They see 3 houses and they're done.
Yeah. So she called me, and so I got my license. Fun fact, Justin McLaughlin, our outgoing president, was in my class, and I've known him forever. So got my license, and then, just started working. And then in 2017, I was mentoring, and the laws changed about managing brokers reviewing contracts and reviewing everything. When was that? 2017, 2018?
Yeah.
Seems like they change all the time, though.
Well, and that was a good law. So it was that, when you're a brand new agent, that your managing broker should be reviewing contracts that are signed by clients. Listings, buyer's agreements, things like that, just to make sure that, because technically that is a contract with the managing broker and you're just the designated agent on it. So it just changed of just having some real supervision, which is great. So I was mentoring at the time within my brokerage, and because of these law changes, my managing broker at the time said, hey, let's get, I would like you guys to get your managing broker license. And I'm like, sure. And he had education. So at that time I got that, had it for a couple of years, and then Town Center was open in 2022. My old brokerage went a different direction, and they were going to go and join another brokerage, and so I decided that was my time to start my own. So in November 2022, Town Center was opened, and we moved into downtown Joliet.
Did you do something before real estate?
Everything.
And
I think that's part of what makes a good realtor. Like when somebody's like, oh, I'm a bar manager, I'm a this, I'm a that. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know how to multitask.
People skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at one point I was a volunteer fireman.
Really?
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
I did not know
When
that.
I was 18, my mom is a firefighter. She's retired, retired in quotations. And so I was always kind of interested in it. I realized it probably wasn't really for me in the end. I did that for a couple years. And then I just kind of had different jobs here and there. And then I got into, the service industry and ended up in, high management and, made good money there. But that's a hard lifestyle.
Nights.
You got to work at nights,
holidays.
Weekends, all of that, and you miss everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that also gave me the opportunity, though, to start my real estate career.
Right.
Yeah.
And to go to trainings and to go, because I was working mostly at night, and unless I had to pick up for somebody if somebody called in sick, because that's what it is. And I think that's why people in the service industry, anybody that has to deal with oops, everything changed. I have to fix this.
Somebody
Makes
has
a good
to be
realtor.
there. Yeah.
You know, because you're like, okay, well, I got to change my whole day. All right, I'm going to go in. It's got to get covered.
Yep.
And it just has to be done. So, you know, I was able to, during the day, you know, come to trainings at Three Rivers and, you know, go to my office and train there and, you know, just work on everything.
Well, and then fast forward to the present day. You're now the serving president-elect of our board, right? So what was the moment or the experience that first inspired you to get involved in leadership at the association level?
Well, I started on the board. So my friend Blair, Blair Soto, a lot of people know her. She's been a realtor a little bit longer than me. We have known each other our entire career. She's like my soul sister. And she's like, hey, I'm on the board. You should get on the board. And I was like, all right, cool. I mean, before that, I had been involved in committees. And I mean, really, when I started in my career, being a part of the association
Do you
was
remember
just part of the job.
the first committee you were involved in?
YPN.
YPN. Okay.
For sure. So she's like, hey, you should apply. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I applied and they gave me a 1-year term because they're like, we're not sure. No, I'm kidding. They have a 1-year term that's kind of like a test it out because you've never been on a board before. You're not sure what you're looking at. You're not sure if you're even going to come in here and love it or hate it. We have an ambulance going by in the
I
back.
promise that's not one of my sound effects on the board.
So they put me in on a 1-year term and, you know, we kind of went from there.
You must have done something right. You're the
Yeah.
president-elect now.
Yeah. So, and that I believe was in 2019. I'm not good at dates. I'm honest.
So, for somebody listening who might be newer to the industry, new to Three Rivers, what's the first step they should take? So maybe not even a new realtor, but just new. They haven't gotten involved yet, right? New in that way. So, what steps should they take if they're interested in getting involved?
Well, and I think you know, joining committees is a good way, and you can always just sit in on a committee, go to a class, make a friend, try and go to an event, call a board member. Call me. I'm a real person. I mean, you can tell, like right
Yeah.
now, I'm not.
Talk to the people who are in it, right?
Yeah, I mean, reach out to one of our staff. They're so nice. And like even Amanda, if you want to go to a community event and you see that Amanda's going to it, our CEO, like Amanda will take you around and introduce you to everybody. You know what I mean? Just grab onto somebody and they will bring you along with
Yeah,
them.
absolutely.
Yeah. Also, talking about the committees, we have several committees, several active committees here at Three Rivers. Can you share what the experience is like and how community service can lead to bigger opportunities?
So I would say that's different with different committees. I've been on almost everything at this point, RPAC, special events, government affairs, and it's kind of different. Like I said, I started in YPN, and YPN is our Young Professionals Network, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be.
Age is just a number.
Yeah, you know, that just means
it's a
that,
feeling.
you know, maybe you're newer to real estate, newer to the association, whatever it is. YPN does a lot of public service and a lot of volunteering, which is great. They throw our birthday bash, which is so fun. And it was like once a month. And I remember showing up, and I think it was that committee, and Ann Schuler, who's like, I mean, she's a legend.
She's
and
on every
volunteering.
committee, yeah.
She was there with her youngest, who's the same age as my little guy, or very close. And, you know, I was like, well, there's a baby here. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Like, this is cool. So you can just show up, you can
family
volunteer,
friendly.
It's
you know.
accepting.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, well, I'll just bring my guy next time, and then they can play. And they still, they're both going into first grade.
Yeah. And
And
what a
they're
good
still-
example to the kids, too, to get out there and get involved and bringing the kids along.
Yeah.
It's cool that you can do that.
Yeah, you know, so it's once a month typically for like an hour, and it really depends. It depends what committee you're on. Special events, obviously, you know, Megan, you know about that.
Yeah,
That's
special
a
events
little,
were a good time if you're looking to join a committee.
Yeah, and it's
Shameless
a
plug.
little heavy for like party planning right before an event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like little stuff like that, but you do get perks.
Yeah, and you
Set
get to
your own
say as
seats
to
and
what.
stuff.
Yeah, you get to say as to what, you know, the fun that happens, and that's really cool. And yeah, there's so many. There's something for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, so one of the best memories that I have with Three Rivers is when I took my son to a food pantry in Aurora, and we packed
Yes, I
the
remember
bag.
that.
Yeah, so you were there at that
Yep.
event, Megan,
Yep.
and
I think I brought my daughter.
yes, you did.
I did,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
So it was a family-friendly thing, and I was like, to myself, "Wow, this is really cool." You know, the association makes it family-friendly for a lot of folks. So
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. So you know, sometimes people think that when they want to join or they have that that desire to get involved, that they need to be a top producer or have like years of experience to contribute. What would you say to somebody who's hesitant to jump in?
I mean, do we want top producers? Absolutely. And, for our board that's coming in, I've sought them out for our board. And that's on our board level. You know what I mean? You have a ton of experience. You've been working in this a long time. Like, okay, cool. That would be great there. But even there, we want perspective of everyone. So if you're new, this is a good way to get to know people. You don't need to have any experience. Like,
Right.
Why does it even, you know what I mean? Like,
This is how you get experience.
right.
Yeah.
And you're going to learn people. And the thing is, like, you're going to come into any meeting and, me and Megan she's going to be talking about a client. I'm going to be talking about a deal going bad. Listen, not speaking names or anything, but like these are ways that I've learned. I've learned so much over and in my regular part of my career. But I think in almost any part of the association, you don't have to have any experience.
Yeah.
And a good point to that, I'm so sorry. And a good point to that is that we have what's called the Rising Star Award.
Yeah.
So if you can get involved when you first get licensed, you could get this huge award that, you have to be licensed. I think it's less than 3 years. I'd have to look at the very specific guidelines, but part of it is, association involvement, all of these things. And that's super cool. I have several friends that have gotten that award and they're still very proud of it today, 10, 12 years later.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I think it's also important to note here that, even though it's a realtor association, there's room here for the affiliates too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's what Megan and I are. We're affiliates, and getting involved is, it was just amazing, networking and meeting new people, not only the other realtors, but other, colleagues.
Yeah, other colleagues. I know I moved here 3 years ago, was completely brand new and had to start over in a new market. So like joining a committee was one of the first things I did was to meet people because I didn't know anybody. I didn't know a single person. And everybody was super welcoming and accepting. So
Well, and people also like join an office in order to network and to talk. And that's also what you get when you're joining a committee or you're going to an event through your association is you're learning from others, but you're also learning from, like, when I come to the podcasts or go to YPN or whatever, you're listening to others within your field and you're talking.
help
and
your
you're listening.
business.
Yeah.
One tip that I'd like to share with everybody who's listening is that if you want to get involved, sign up for a committee. But if you don't want to sign up for a committee, go to the events.
Yes,
there's
you
tons
don't
of
have to
events.
help run them, but
Go to
come.
the events.
Yeah.
A lot of the events that we have are free.
Yeah.
That just sign up and
Super
go.
minimal
and
cost if there is a
meet,
cost.
Meet
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But right now is a time that people can still join, right, Jen?
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't start our new committees until October. And I mean, we have the affiliates committee, which, obviously would be specifically for our affiliates. And I would encourage, especially newer affiliate members, to get involved with that
Yeah, for
because
sure.
you're going to learn from these others that have, more experience and are more involvement. There are committees that, you cannot apply for, but like golf, we would love extra help on golf. So if you love to golf and you want to plan the golf outing, you still get to go and have fun and golf.
Yeah, and it's
that
a
day.
once a year event.
Yeah,
It's not a
it's-
ton of heavy lifting.
It's a couple meetings,
Yeah.
literally. Like,
Yep.
it's super simple. Government affairs. Now, governmental affairs, that is a Zoom meeting. So that, you don't even really have to be involved if you don't want. I would say my first year on government affairs, I was like, all right, I'm just going to sit here and listen.
Yeah.
And
Great
just,
learning.
but the conversations that I've had from things I've learned in government affairs, it's kind of wild. It's like, okay, we would go in there and they'd say, this is going on in Shanahan, in Joliet, in Mokina. And then like 2 days later, I'd run into somebody and they'd bring it up and I'd be like,
You can speak to
I can
it.
be an expert on this.
Yeah.
So that's just good info. Our home expo, that is like, and again, like these are not constant meetings. You know what I mean? Like it's probably monthly or every other month until you get closer. Outreach, that's a committee that we're working on. So, that's going to be about getting out in the community, making sure all of our membership is represented. So we would love to have, everyone on there. Our PAC, that's going to be quarterly coming up this year. Special events, like we said, that plans the installation and the Christmas party. And then YPN, that's once a month. So any of these, and if you just want to go check one out, just call, ask any of the staff, hey, when's the next YPN meeting? I'd love to sit in on it and just like see what they're doing.
See what it's about.
Right.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Right.
So how has serving on committees or in leadership helped your personal and professional growth especially as a broker?
Well, like I said in the beginning, I just like learned. Every time I was here, I was just like listening, because before meetings and after meetings, like people are just having natural conversations about what's going on in their business. They're like, oh, this just happened in my transaction, and this is, and then they're talking it out. And I'm like,
hear the
okay,
stories,
this is
yeah.
cool. And I'm like, well, all right, how did they fix this? Professionally, my involvement in the association has given me so many other connections and put me with people that you know what I mean? Like, I got into this position, but like generally I'm a introverted outrovert, I would say. I'm not the one that's going to like run up and be like, hi, you know what I mean? I'm a little more just reserved, whatever, but it's given me these opportunities to meet people in, and not just in the real estate world, outside of it, that, have helped me make connections in every, part of my career, that have helped me, make deals happen and meet people and just connect people. And that's what a realtor is. We're a connector.
Community connector, yes, absolutely. Because when your client has a need, you want them to reach out to you,
Yeah.
right? You need a landscaper, you need a moving company, you need a stager. Like, I got you, and I know a guy, or I know a girl,
Right.
Yeah. And that's who we are. I mean, I say that all the time. Like,
Yeah.
we are a facilitator. We are like your job. Obviously, we're going to negotiate and do all of those things, but like, we're a fixer.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right, this is the problem, we're going to fix it. Okay, this is who you need, I got you. And it's moving all of these parts and making everything as smooth as possible for your clients.
Right. Can you talk a bit about how realtors can get involved in the state and national Realtor Association and why that matters?
So the state and national levels are very similar to ours. They put out applications, they put out, okay, here's our committees, here's, all of these things. You can do that. You can attend events. Illinois Realtors has, in October, there'll be one. Is it October or November? So Illinois Realtors has all of their events. Most of those are free to attend. It's free education. And they're excellent.
They're pretty good, yeah.
Good speakers. You can come sit. You can come for a day. You can come for a half a day. You can get education. The National Association. So those are, DC is free. You can go to the legislative meetings, I believe, and Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong, Amanda, our CEO. I just go where she tells me to. Those are, again, like huge speakers, all different topics, and you can just attend these and get information. The National Association, again, you can apply for committees, you can apply for, to be a part of it. I will say that to get into this, as far as leadership at a state and a national level, and we have a lot of people that are on the Illinois Realtors Board that are Three Rivers members. We have, we do have a lot of people that have gotten there. That takes some time. But the starting step to that, if you are interested in that, is to get involved here.
Yeah.
And then you can work up from there. But I mean, like this year in DC, I was sitting in the Capitol building in a senator's office.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
How did I get here? Like, how, you know what I mean? And it was from my original involvement here. And then all of a sudden I'm sitting with 10 other people having a meeting with a United States senator. I'm like, how, and those are the connections. And I think that but all of these things kind of get you there.
Right. They're the stepping stones.
Yeah, so it is the same. But I think, to get involved on the state and national level, first thing, attend education, attend events, show up to what you can, ask people around here. If you're really interested, there's tons of opportunity. And the Matt Perskettis and the Karen Robertsons and the Eddie Rudigers and those that are involved on those levels, they will if they see that you're that you are involved, they're going to encourage you. But they're wealth of knowledge, and they will absolutely talk to you and say, okay, this is how you do it.
Right.
Come with me.
Come with me. Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's switch gears and let's talk about one of the biggest events of the year. Let's talk about the 106th installation of officers and directors, which is going to be on September 17th. This is going to be at the Rialto Square Theater in Joliet.
And you know what? That's like one of my favorite events to go to every year. And I've been to the last 2, maybe 3. Every time it's beautiful. It's a beautiful evening celebrating our leadership and our community, always with an elegant buffet dinner. There's dessert. This year, like Christy said, it's going to be at the iconic Rialto Square Theater as the backdrop. Now, people sometimes ask about attire. Attire? Well, let's just say semi-formal to formal, dress to impress, or as Megan would say, get gussied up.
Gussied up. I'm going to get gussied up. So, Jen, you're going to officially be installed that night as president. So tell us what to expect at the event.
So, Joe, I must say, because I've been a huge part of planning installation for the last couple of years because I just enjoy it, and we've made it ridiculous the last couple of years. Just so fun.
It's been a
so
lot of fun.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Fun themes.
And I'm always, the food. So I can tell you right now that our food's going to be delicious. I literally don't care. When we were planning our wedding, I was like, I want a good DJ, good music, and good food.
That's
The
what
rest
people
of it,
remember.
I
That's
could
what
care less about. Like, that's literally it. So we're going to have really good food. We are going to have paletas. So if anybody's from Joliet, they know about that white truck. That little white,
my
white
gosh.
cart that comes rolling, and those bells. So you need a sound effect for the bells.
The bells. Do I have
So
one?
that I don't know, but so it's gonna be really Joliet themed. I have a real love for Joliet, and I really wanted it to be downtown. And when we looked at the Realtor, I was like, well, can we make this a thing, because the Realtor is iconic.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
My gosh, who doesn't want to go to an event at the Rialto?
It's stunning.
Yes.
So, and
Classic.
downtown, it's going through a renaissance right now. We have a whole city center being built, and my office is down there, so I'm down there every day. It's going to be on a way closer to done than we thought it was going to be. But, I'm really excited. We're going to have really good food, good music. It will not be boring. Because that's the one
Never a
thing
dull
I was like,
moment.
listen, we are not going to stand up there and talk for 75 hours. Like, we want people to be able to explore the Rialto, because we're going to have, access to it the whole night.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So for someone who hasn't been there, what can they expect?
So usually we come in, we have a little bit of a cocktail hour. We're still working on the music for that. I have very expensive taste. So the first thing that we reach, I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it because there's this guy on TikTok, and he plays modern songs on violin, and it's so cool. And so I sent it to Molly, and I was like, let's reach out to this guy. Super cool.
Yeah.
Super out of budget.
Yeah.
So, you're going to come in, we're going to have cocktail hour, we're going to have appetizers, and then you can explore the Rialto. We'll have photo booths, things like that,
Awesome.
networking. And then we'll sit down, we'll have dinner, we do give some awards, do some updates, things like that. Then we install our board of directors, and then,
And then it's
Party
party,
on, party on.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eat, drink.
It's party time.
Yeah.
So, Jennifer, we thank you so much for joining us today. Your story is such a great reminder of how important and rewarding getting involved can be.
To our listeners, if you've ever thought about raising your hand to serve, whether it's on a committee, a task force, or a board, now is the time. Your association definitely needs your voice.
And don't forget, join us at the 106 installation on September 17th to celebrate our leadership in action and connect with others who are making a difference in our industry.
Thank you for listening to the Real Estate Ripple. Until next time.
Keep creating waves in your business and your community.
Take care. Bye-bye. That's a wrap for today's episode of the Real Estate Ripple. We hope you're leaving with a little more knowledge and a lot more motivation.
If you enjoyed the conversation, don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share the Ripple with someone in your network.
Thanks for tuning in, and remember, every ripple counts. We'll see you next time.